Hello and welcome to episode number 13 of the Serious Football Heads podcast. Today it's just me again, Jay Brown, hosting the show. Tom is out of town, unfortunately couldn't be here. Waiting on his picks, but as soon as I get them, I will either post them in the comments section down below, or I will update and make a new picks segment video to go along with this one. So, what to talk about? Well, first and foremost, let's go over last week's games. There are a couple of surprising games out there that I think need to be addressed. First and foremost among them is the Chiefs at the Lions. What a game that was. I mean, oh my goodness. How crazy was that game? The lead changes, the fact that the Chiefs barely held on. Brandon was right to pick the Lions. You know, I scoffed at him, honestly. But at the same time, I think that he has the pulse on the line, so he knows what they're going to be like. And the fact that they gave the Chiefs a run for their money, is great, and really glad to see that. Not many people had the Browns beating the Ravens. That was another good one. 40-25. I mean, that was not even close. Now, every team has their bad days, so there's that. Panthers and Texans was another good game. I didn't expect the Panthers to win, and they did. Raiders beating the Colts. We knew that the Giants and the Seahawks would win, but the real big one in the afternoon games was the Buccaneers beating the Rams 55-40 in LA. Now that is just crazy. I mean, that's an off day, but as various analysts have said over the week, the fact that the Rams basically threw 68 times, I think it was, 68 times in one game, just crazy. That is not how you win the game. You have to have a credible run threat. The fact that Tampa was able to slow their running game down and having it, basically 12, 13 touches on the ground, that was crazy. The Sunday night game was another great game to watch. The Cowboys at the Saints. I was, for the first half, I was actually hanging out on a live stream on YouTube with a friend of mine. Well, I wasn't actually in the hangout. I was chatting in his live stream. Team Skeptic. Letting him know the score as things were going on. But it was pretty fun. Anyways, the fact that it was a 12-10 game and the Saints came out on top is really interesting. It's also the first game that the Saints have won without scoring a TD since Week 8 of 1998. Wow. Buccaneers set a franchise record, and one notable thing that happened in the Seahawks game is Larry Fitzgerald has now become the second most receptions in NFL history. So, I'm glad to see something positive for the Cardinals came out of that. Yeah. So, all right. So that's pretty much it for the scores. The games notable last week. Tom went 8-7 last week, and I went 7-8. So I'm now barely one game ahead of him. In our ongoing records for the season. Moving forward, let's go on to the news. All right, let's move over to the news. Sorry. Oh, of course, I forgot to set that up again. Let's do that again. There we go. Anyways, Earl Thomas says he and Brandon Williams are good. Apparently, there's been a bit of a rift between them. I don't know what that's about. Cleveland Browns says that Jarvis Landry still remains in the concussion protocol. That's interesting. It sucks for me for a fantasy lineup because I was actually going to put him in until I found out that he's in the concussion protocol. Sam Darnold could be back, it looks like. but he has to get medically cleared first because he was taking the full reps. And Jalen Ramsey so far is not practicing this week. So there is that. All right, let's move back to the news. Patriots expected to sign Mike Nugent. That's no big deal. Players of the month, Patrick Mahomes and Ed McCaffrey. Let's see here. Patriots safety Devin McCourty. Special teams player, punter James Gallen from the Browns. All right, so we have Christian McCaffrey, Shaquille Barrett, and Thomas Moorhead. Now let's go to the rookies. Of course, rookie of the month would be Gardner Minshew. Although I think they should do this for each division or each conference as well. Because I mean, the impact that DK Metcalf has been having is great. All right, and then Panthers linebacker Brian Burns put up quite the best, So that's quite interesting. All right. Oh, that's sad. The Cardinals owner Bill Bidwell has passed away. Sorry to hear that. I wasn't actually listening to a lot of NFL news yesterday, so I'm actually sorry to hear about that. I would have led with an announcement on that. And speaking of passing, I need to mention. Let me switch back to this really quick. I need to mention the status of the Serious Football Heads group here. I need to get this because I have been meaning to put this in there. Alan Smith, one of our friends in the Serious Football Heads community, his son passed away a few weeks ago, and they need help with it, with the funding of the funeral expenses and everything. So with that said, I'm going to post the link to the GoFundMe page. Their goal is $10,000, and they're currently sitting at $5,910 as of the recording of this. So please, if you can, please donate. And share this around with everybody. So, sorry, it took the passing of the Bill Bidwell for me to remember that. So Steven Gostowski's on the IR, which is why they're looking for a kicker. All right, and that is pretty much it for the news. I mean, it's weird going 3 weeks without Tom. First because of illness, then because he's out of town the next 2 weeks. It's we've worked up such great rapport in our back and forth that it does make a bit of a hindrance here. So let's see here. Is there anything else that we want to look at? See if I can find stats here. Highlights from week 9 on the Jadeveon Clowney interception. All right. Let's see here. That is quite interesting. All right, let's go back to main page. All right. That was quite interesting. This is just interesting. This is quite interesting that it's like this. All right, let's go here. So you're just going to watch and follow the plays. I suggest that if you get a chance to, everybody, check out the Next Gen Stats section of NFL.com. Because it allows you the opportunity to see from a top down, not the actual players, but what makes the play happen. Because you can see that this receiver went this way, came out this way. Motion number 17, or motion, no, number 12 motioned. This was number 17. This is number 12. Number 18. Number 80, the tight end. Just really just interesting. All right. Well, I think that is about it for that. Not a lot in the news department today, to be quite honest. Just refresh really quick. Yeah. Nothing really all that great. So let's just hop to it. Without somebody to bounce games off of, it's a little awkward, just give my opinion straight up. So, but it's all good. So let's go to the scores for week 5 so I can get the list and pull up. There we go. All right. So week 5, game 1, Thursday night, tonight, Seahawks at home against the Rams. We all know who I'm picking. And let's go from there. Next up at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte is the Panthers and the Jaguars. Jaguars won on the road last week, if I remember correctly. Pull that up here really quick. Yeah, they beat Denver in Denver 26-24. So the Panthers haven't been all that great at home this year. But I'm going to give it to the Panthers this week. All right. Battle of winless teams at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Cardinals at the Bengals. Cardinals are 0-3-1 and the Bengals are 0-4. Semi-West Coast team going East Coast team. Neither team plays very well. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one to right the ship finally. In an RNG stadium in Houston, we have the Falcons coming to take on the Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans at home, but the Falcons could easily win this one. Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans Saints taking on the Buccaneers at home in New Orleans. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow. I'm gonna have to go with the Saints on this one. I don't think the Bucks are going to be able to. I mean, it's a division team. I get that, but I don't think they're going to be able to take them on. Um, Next one is MetLife Stadium. The Vikings coming in to face the Giants. Gonna go with the Vikings on this one. I just don't think the Giants can hold off the Viking defense. So at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in Tottenham, England, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders are the masters of these UK games. They're the ones that go every year, pretty much. So, but I'm gonna go with the Bears on this one. The Bears are playing quite well this year, so 0-3 Jets coming into Lincoln Financial Field to face the 2-2 Eagles. Just because I'm not sure if Donald's going to get cleared medically, I'm going to go with the Eagles. If he gets cleared, I'm not going to change my pick, but I think they have a better chance of winning with Darnold in there. All right, at Heinz Field, the 2-2 Ravens coming in to face the Steelers. Ravens got shocked last week by the Browns, which I think might wake them up, especially since the Browns came into their stadium. The Steelers have been playing well. It's just been hard. So we'll go with that. And I think I just got Tom's picks, so I'll redo the pick segment later for him, and we'll add that in. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. I just don't think the Steelers can muster what they need to. The next one at Nissan Stadium, Bills versus the Titans. 3-1 Bills coming in to face the 2-2 Titans. I think the Bills are still the better team here, and I'm going to pick them. The Titans they can't seem to play consistently. So 4-0 Patriots coming into FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland to face the 0-4 Washington Redskins. Who am I going to take on that one? Oh, that's right, the Patriots. Next up, we have for Tom, the first afternoon game at Rocket Field at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. The 0-4 Broncos coming in to take on the 2-2 Chargers. All right, Tom will be proud of me. I'm taking the Chargers because I just don't think the Broncos are playing well enough to do anything. Again, it's a division opponent, so anything could happen. I just think that it's going to be the Chargers. They're the better team. All right, so the last Sunday afternoon game. Wow, only 2 Sunday afternoon games. Wow, that's really weird. All right, so we have the Packers 3-1 coming into AT&T Stadium in Texas to face the Cowboys. This one is actually probably the game of the week. Well, obviously for Fox it will be, but in all honesty, I think it's the better game of the week for the NFL in general. And it's going to be a coin flip. I think it's going to be the Cowboys at home. I won't be surprised if the Cowboys lose, but I think they're going to win. I'm going to go with the home team on this one. Sunday Night Football at Arrowhead Stadium. The 2-2 Colts coming in to face the 4-0 Chiefs. I could see the Colts pulling off an upset here. I really could. The Chiefs are going to be riding high. And until you lose your first game, you think you're unstoppable. And it's Jacoby Brissett. He's been playing really good too. But it's a 4-0 team at home Sunday night. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. And lastly, for the Monday night game, the 3-0 49ers host at Levi Stadium the Cleveland Browns. Well, I'm going to go with the Browns on this one. I think the Browns could come in and actually beat the 49ers at home. I don't think it'll be necessarily a lopsided win, but I think the Browns have the gumption to be able to do that. For the bye this week, we have the Lions and the Dolphins. The Dolphins could really use this to lick their wounds after that horrid start of 0-4. So let's see what Tom has to say for his picks. Let me get set up here. Tom picks. And just going to cut and paste them. And switch over to my Tom stand-in. All right. And for Tom, we have, he's picking Seattle. He's picking Arizona. All right. That's going to be a good one. All right. Let's see here. He's got Buffalo, Chicago, New Orleans, Giants, Philly, Baltimore, New England, Carolina, Houston, Chargers, obviously, Dallas, Kansas City, wait, how many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I miss one? Oh, I did. And then he's got San Fran winning. So this will be interesting to see. This will be very, very interesting to see how this comes out. It's one of those things, trying to pick a game and whatnot, and it will be it'll be interesting to see how we go. I'm looking forward to getting Tom back next week so we can kind of discuss some of the games that have been pretty crazy, pretty intense. So with that, I hate having these short episodes. I really do. I prefer the nearly an hour long, allows us the discussion back and forth. But it's kind of hard to have a one-sided conversation. So you folks take care. Enjoy your football this week. Again, if you get a chance to, go hit up the fundraiser for the GoFundMe for Garrett Reed Smith, Alan Smith's son, so we can help them out. So with that, enjoy your football weekend. May your team win. Unless you're playing the Seahawks, then Seahawks win. So have a great day. Take care.